Welcome back to the Better Than Before podcast. I keep looking at that and not at that.
Oh.
Today we have Taylor back in the hot seat. Is it a hot seat? I don't know.
It's a little toasty in here right now. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I had to put the AC down. So, yeah.
So excited to do this again with you. We actually have no idea what to talk about today.
No idea. We got a couple questions, which we might answer.
We got some questions that people, or I guess we have already answered. So if you asked a question about how we met, our parenting styles.
Keeping things exciting after pregnancy, like having a baby. Go back to the previous episodes.
Yeah. I'll link them all down below. But
what is it? Marriage after pregnancy? There are 2 parts, 1 and 2.
Yeah. We went pretty deep on that. But I will say somebody had a question about a situationship. Do you know what a situationship is now?
Yes.
It's like what the cool kids are saying these days, like
it's not a relationship.
Which is
it's like a situation
bogus to me.
Yeah, that's a weird all the things the kids say.
All the kids these days.
What they put labels on, and well, I guess we can't make.
Yeah.
Can't say anything because we were like at the beginning of our relationship, we're like, we're not gonna put a label on it.
Meanwhile, I'm at his cousin's wedding, meeting the family.
No, we're not together. Yeah, we were together.
Yeah. But it wasn't a situationship. Like we knew what it was, but we didn't like. Anyway, this question said, she said, please tell me I still have it up. I don't have it up. Essentially, she said her boo thing
isn't ready to
commit,
to make them a priority.
Yeah, to make them a priority.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
I would be like, I'm sorry. Especially if someone said that to me. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry. We're going all over the place. She asked, should she peace out?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. After having a conversation with him, I think. Saying, hey, like, what's the deal? Why not? And depending on the answer he gives you, probably, yeah, peace out.
Yeah, like what answer would you think?
What would keep...
Yeah. Like,
what would keep him...
No. What would keep you from not piecing out after having a conversation? Like, what would that conversation say?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. If someone tells you you're not a priority...
Yeah.
Noted. Peace out.
All right, later. Because why would you make them a priority if they're not going to make you a priority?
Right.
And that's like... We kind of talked about that in the other podcast of... You're sacrificing in hopes that the other person's sacrificing the same amount.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's so crazy because like growing up, you hear like all the adults talking about like, oh, you're going to understand the experience that you're going to like gain. And then you're going to be able to give advice. And we're like, yeah, whatever. I'm never going to be that person. And now I'm like, wow, oh, if I could just go back in time and punch these guys because... But I will say I would not want to be dating right now. This day and age.
No, absolutely not.
With the freaking Snapchats that disappear, like send me a nude, like get out of here, bro.
No, it's such a different climate.
It's so scary.
I would not want to do it at all. We talk about it all the time. It's like I don't want to be single. Like if anything were to ever happen to us, like heaven forbid one of us passes and like
stop saying that. We don't talk about that here because it's never going to happen.
But like just going back into that, like dating and trying to learn everything about somebody all over again. And that's such a long process. And if it doesn't work out, then it's just like such a pain. And yeah, I just would not want to be dating right now or trying to find my significant other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of it's so childish too. Yeah. Like some of the relationships we're looking, like we have the honor of looking into from the outside. Yeah. Like some of our friends are dating and just like seeing the dynamic and how they handle conflict or how they handle conversations. And like they totally overanalyze things. And it's like, bro, just like talk about it and just have an adult conversation instead of like doing this whole dance about what's he saying or what's she going to say. And like, oh, if he takes us the wrong way, like, no, like, cut a lot of stuff out.
Yeah. I will say our relationship was like that from the very beginning. There was no like hidden agenda. There was no me questioning. I'm sorry.
You questioned hardcore.
I did. Well, because you're putting heart emojis on some random girl's video. And
that was like before we were really even dating.
I met your parents like 3 weeks into knowing each other. So you tell me.
No, it was not. It was like we weren't anything official. And yeah, like
shut up.
Yes, there was a heart emoji.
And it was no. Okay, no, we're gonna get just sad.
Here we go.
I'm gonna give you a glimpse into our relationship.
Yeah.
So it was great. Like it was no problems, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I don't even know how I found it because Instagram doesn't like, I don't know. But anyway, I saw that he he like left heart emojis on some girl's workout video. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I was legit ready to say peace. Like it was that serious. And he was like, oh, I helped train her or something, blah, blah, blah. And
so it was more like from my perspective, it was like, I'm proud of you. Like, this is great.
Bro,
awesome job.
I'm proud of you, not heart emoji.
Yeah, no, I know. Looking back, I should have done that. But in the moment, it was like, and at the time, we weren't anything official. This was before the wedding. This was before the wedding.
No,
this was before.
Not.
Yeah.
No, it was not.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
I would not be that crazy.
Maybe it wasn't.
It was not after the wedding. We were deep in lunches every day, texting all the time, phone conversation. Like it was deep.
Okay, then I was wrong.
You absolutely were wrong.
I was wrong. Yeah.
Any guys listening, which I don't think they are, don't make that mistake.
Yeah. That was that was definitely a mistake. But you were always questioning, like, is this guy legit?
Yes, because
is he for real? Like, is he actually this nice?
Yes,
or is he just like putting on a front?
Yes.
To get in my pants or whatever.
But I also told you that.
Yeah.
But not like in a
constantly.
But not like in a rude way. It was like, why are you so nice? Why are you so like? And then I would always say he's like my little white boy from New Hampshire.
Yep. And that was just who I was. Yeah. And it wasn't there because like there were other guys who we worked with at the time who were like nice, but their like motives weren't.
Yeah. I'm not gonna like pat myself in the back or anything, but I was a hot commodity.
You were. Oh, there was a guy that called you his girl.
Oh my goodness.
And it was like, wait, what?
I was like, excuse
his girl?
Me? No, not your girl.
Actually, no. And you weren't even my girl at the time.
Yeah.
But it was just funny, like the bravado.
Yeah.
So
speaking of, did we talk about this already? The picture?
What picture?
The picture where we were. Okay, so Taz mentioned I wasn't his girl.
The picture.
But we were obviously talking and stuff, but we didn't like make it a thing within like the workplace. Like people could obviously like put two and two together, but we were never on top of each other. We kept everything professional. And during all our breaks, we would go to Bryant Park and just hang out. And one day, I should say that everybody would be like, what's up with you guys? But like, if someone were to ask me like respectfully and nicely, I would be like, yeah, sure. We're dating or we're talking or whatever. But all of these guys, and they were all guys that were being annoying. And they were like, oh, you're dating each other. Like, literally like that.
Literally, they sounded exactly like that.
And it was so annoying. So I didn't want to give them like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Time of day?
Not the time of day, but like I didn't want the satisfaction of like whatever. So I wanted to keep it like mysterious. And so, or not just me, him too. And so one day we went to Bryant Park and I guess
in the middle of summer, mind you.
Yeah. And we were laying out on the grass. That's something that you do in New York. You just like lay out, have a picnic.
When
they
let you on the grass.
Right, when they let you on the grass. And I think your shirt was off.
Yes.
His shirt was off. I was wearing a tank top, but he was like laying on his side and his elbow was up and his hand was on his head.
If you're watching on YouTube, we'll put a picture of it.
Yeah.
If you're on, actually, well, I guess you can watch on Spotify. If you're watching this, you'll see it.
But. Yeah. And so, whatever, we were just laying out. We didn't know anybody was watching us. A couple weeks later, we, what was his name?
Daniel.
This guy comes up to me one day. And he was like, hey, Eric. Is that his name?
Eric.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
So it was Eric. He comes up to me and he's like, hey, Yummy, I just want to let you know that there's an email thread going around about you and Taz.
Email. The heck?
Someone took a picture and they're like talking about how you guys are a couple, but like it's a freaking email thread and they're talking about it. And I was like, are you kidding? Like, I didn't care, but I was like, do you have that picture though?
Yeah. Can someone send it to us?
And he's like, he showed it to me and I was like, oh my God, wait, it's so cute. Can you send it to me? So he sent it to me and it's one of my favorite pictures. It's like the first picture, one of our first pictures. And so, I don't even know why we said that story, but
no,
it was a sweet.
Oh, the guy's blue, your girl. Yeah, actually not.
Yeah. And so, we still have that picture and it's one of my favorite pictures and
it's pretty iconic.
Yeah. It is pretty iconic.
Because as we talked about in our previous episode was, when we were going through the classes at Equinox, you'd walk to another club to take those classes. And it was like a 15-minute walk. And we were in the park while everybody else was going to their class. And so when they walked by the park, they saw us.
I can just imagine them like,
we would go check this out. Check this out. Shut up.
So
it's a great picture though.
Yeah. Thanks for the picture.
Thank you.
I bet
Thanks for the memes. I bet he did.
Or Rashad. Or
what's his name?
What's his name from
Malta?
Yes.
Why don't I remember that?
David. Was that his name?
David. Yep.
Oh my God. They were all characters. It was fun.
It was a great time, but they were funny.
Yeah.
But thinking they were all
also,
that in a bag of chips.
This was at Equinox when we used to work together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back in 2014.
Yeah. So
funny.
Anyway, back to dating.
Would you move back to New York?
If I was filthy rich.
Yeah. That's really the only way.
Actually, I don't know. I think I'd want to move to California first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you'd also have to be filthy rich.
So it's never happening. Just kidding. I'm going to manifest it.
Let's talk about manifesting as a Christian.
Here we go. Let's do it. I can talk about manifesting.
No, you can't. What are you going to say about it?
That it's not manifesting.
No. Manifesting is not real.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is going to be a hot take, but manifesting is so dumb. Like, especially on social media when girls are like, I manifested this campaign.
Oh, did you?
Did you? You mean you reached out to them?
Or you also have 200,000 followers. So of course they want to work with you. Like, no, you didn't manifest anything.
Yeah.
And like asking the universe, and no, obviously because of our faith, like we don't believe like the universe. We believe in a deity. We believe in God. And we don't like the universe just doesn't give you something because you ask for it.
Right.
And it's just, no,
I think
what did you hear?
I think at the on the
toast.
On the toast. I love
they
them
talked
so
about
much. They were literally saying,
she's so funny.
She is hilarious. She was like, you didn't manifest it. You tagged the brand a bunch of times and they realized that you want to work with them and then you work with them. Like you didn't manifest it. You just tagged them a ton of times.
Yeah. And they were like, okay, fine. We'll bring you on this trip.
Yeah.
And you also have 1 million followers. So like, you're not, no. And you work for those 1 million followers.
Right.
And something else I heard, I don't know if it was them, but it was like, I would love to see how many times the manifesting didn't work out.
That was
awesome.
And like,
was it them?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
let's see that list.
How many times did you not get what you asked for? But like the one time, like something works out, it's like, oh, I manifested it.
The manifestation
and then they make a program on it. They make a coaching program on manifesting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Manifesting.
Bro, the amount of coaching programs that we've seen in our lifetime.
Instagram business coaches.
Actually insane. But the whole manifesting thing, yes. I think at the core of it, because I think when you manifest, it's like you talk to the universe, tell it what you want, and then you manifest it, right? But no one talks about the work that comes with the manifestation. Like
put it right here.
Yeah.
And you focus.
Hopefully these women that are people that are manifesting things are like, I'm sure they are. They're working for said things, but they don't talk about that because no one wants to hear the hard work. Like no one wants to hear about like, oh, you actually have to work for what you want.
Yeah. And like, it's not like you're just getting up, making your coffee and your green juice and then just like sitting there manifesting what you want to happen. Like you're out there working for it.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, poof, it's there. You're not a genie. It's ridiculous.
I was just thinking about the toast. Oh my gosh, she's hilarious. Anyway, that's our take on manifestation.
But like you said, you kind of said at the core of it, I thought you were going to go to it in a different direction, but like manifesting the universe versus like God, the way they talk about it, like they talk to the universe and I would assume it's like the equivalent of praying. they talk to the universe and they like plead their case or like whatever. And to the universe, please universe, just, I want this so bad. But I think the biggest thing is like manifestation, or quote unquote manifestation, is done in your own power. Like you do it, you make it happen. Whereas like praying and like asking God to grant the desires of your heart, obviously whatever you ask needs to be within God's will and God's plan for your life. And then God can make it happen, but it's not like you're not doing it in your own power. Yeah. And I think that's one big thing that I see people thinking they're doing it in their own power when they're not. Yeah. And taking credit for it. And that's exactly like what happened to Satan. And we're kind of going down like a little theological road here, but Satan thought he could be like God. And so he cast him out of heaven. And you see a lot of that with a manifestation. Like, I'm doing this, I'm making this happen. I manifested this when it's just not true. Like, you're working for it. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. I'm getting off my soapbox now.
I always joke around with Taz and I'm like, well, yeah, manifestation is real because if you're asking the universe, you're asking God because he created the universe, right? He's not very happy when I say that.
No, I mean, I know she's not like entirely serious, but like, God isn't the universe. God created the universe.
Right. That's what I said.
No, I know. But like some people, like they're not the same. God created the universe. And so it's a very, you even see some Christians or some people that like apparently believe talking about manifestation. And I don't know if they know what they're talking about or like how they're separating the two.
Yeah, I don't think they separate, but I don't think they use it in like the manifestation, like the new agey way. I think it's like manifestation with God. Whereas like if it's in his will or something, I don't know. I can't speak for them, obviously, but
could be.
Yeah, you never know. And I think it's so easy to get things lost in like not translation, but like it's such a deep conversation. Like when you talk about manifestation in terms of Christianity, or like, what would the word for manifestation be?
In Christianity?
Yeah. Like God's will? No.
Praying.
Okay. So like, I'm going to try to make this make sense in my head because it's like a jarbled mess. Yeah. So like, let's say, like, I feel like one of the responses could be like, oh, well, what if, I don't know. Like, what if I want to be an actress? I don't know. And is that in God's plan for me? I think that if you have a relationship with God, he probably gave you that desire for X reason. And then you would work at it to get to where you want to be, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, I'm going to do another hot topic. Does God put in your heart to do an OnlyFans? Probably not. Because
that's not honoring God. I think a lot of it comes down to like, is what you're doing honoring God and giving glory to God instead of giving glory to yourself. Right. And that's a very thin line to walk as well. Because like you can say, I am growing my Instagram to give glory to God, but like, is what you're posting reflective of that? Right. Or OnlyFans. Like that's obviously not from something God's going to put on your heart ever. No. Unless you're building OnlyFans, that's not what
unless
OnlyFans
you're reading the Bible.
Yeah. Unless you're like like teaching theologically on OnlyFans in fully clothed. And so I think a lot of it comes down to just honoring God with whatever you're doing. Yeah. And then God will choose or not choose to continue to have his hand on your life. Yeah. And I think the closer you get to God and the closer you build that relationship, I think your desires could change because you are convicted by different things. I mean, this could go on forever and ever and ever and ever, but yeah. 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 Let's talk about Target. Oh my goodness. Okay. Say what you want. That's a hot topic right now. A huge hot topic. They've lost like $18 billion in what? On their market cap? Yeah. wild. I think they've passed Bud Light now.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, this world is crazy.
If you don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Target, what has it been, like 2 weeks now? 2 weeks now, they made a display for Pride Month, I believe, or for Pride, I'm not sure. And the second you walk into Target, you see this huge display
front of the store. Kids, like it's a kids thing.
Yeah. And it's like a Pride display of T-shirts, all that stuff. And I would have been fine up until they introduced like tuck-proof underwear for kids.
For boys. Bathing suits, tuck-proof bathing suit, like tuck-friendly.
Tuck-friendly.
Tuck-friendly bathing suits for boys.
Suits for boys. And they have this artist making pins saying things like Satan...
loves pride or loves pronouns.
Satan loves your Satan respects your pronouns. And that's when I was like, full stop.
For children.
Right.
And I think God gave us free will to choose. Like we can obviously choose how we live our lives.
So I think the free will thing exists. Like you can do whatever you want. But I think when they pinpoint it to the children who, I mean, you're a kid, you can't they don't know, they know their gender. And if they have feelings about being a different gender, I think it's too young, too soon to do anything about it. Like I was a full-blown tomboy.
Yeah.
Full-blown tomboy. I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a girl. Still love being a girl. I still love, my childhood and stuff. But like, I can't imagine being young and seeing all these different things targeted at me saying, you should transition. Because that's what they're saying.
Just because you have this little feeling that like, oh, I like playing sports, or I like the color blue, or I'm a boy and I like playing with dolls.
Yeah.
Like, they're children. And so it doesn't automatically mean they want to be the opposite sex. And when you're targeting children who are so vulnerable, impressionable, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe I am a girl. When previously they may not have thought that, they just realized I like playing with dolls. Yeah. And it's
scary.
It's super
so scary because I also ran across this interview of this mom who, I don't know, did I tell you this?
Yeah.
Interview of this mom, or not interview, she was at like a school conference or something, and she was talking about how her child, a girl, I think she might have been like 8 or 9, and she was having feelings of identity, I guess, and the child spoke to the counselor about it, but instead of the counselor telling the parents how they felt or this conversation that they had, she went ahead and helped her transition.
Without telling the parents.
Right. Bro.
And there is even, is it in California? No. Where there's a law where the parent can't keep the child from transitioning. Like, what's the role of a parent then? Right. Like, what is a parent here if they're not here to guide their child how they want to? Yeah. How are you supposed to parent your child if you can no longer make those decisions? Right. When a child is too young to make that lifelong decision at 7, 8, 9 years old. And
even 15.
It's just a crazy time. Like you can't drink before 21, but you can change your gender. You can't enlist in the army until 18, but you can change your gender. It's just like, what's happening? Yeah. What is happening? It's scary. And it's a crazy time and makes us think about raising Luna in this landscape. What's going to happen in school when, she's probably going to have like thoughts of like, oh, I like playing sports, or like she might be a tomboy. Yeah. Just like you were.
Yeah. Cause I'm still a tomboy at sometimes.
Yeah. And it doesn't automatically mean she wants to be a boy. And I don't want to have that thought of like, is my school system going to affirm this right off the bat? And
I also don't want to discredit people that actually feel these feelings. Like that's not what we're saying here. I think it's just like putting this in such like targeted, like these places for these young impressionable kids to see it everywhere you go. Mm-hmm. Like
bombarded with it. Of course they're going to think it. Of course they're going to think, oh yeah, maybe I'm a girl if it's everywhere they go and everything they're seeing and hearing.
Yeah.
So,
and also the thing with Target, back to Target, one of the things that I was really like upset about was that this artist had a pin with a guillotine, right? Is that what it's called? A guillotine. And it said,
heterosexual headrest.
You just did my punchline. It didn't say heterosexual headrest. It said like cisgender headrest. And if you don't know what that means, cisgender literally means like what you were born, your gender that you were born in. So like Taz and I are cisgender. So this headrest is saying
like if you think you're one gender, or if you're still the gender that you were born with. Yeah,
not one gender, just like what you are. That's your headrest. So you're saying I should kill myself?
Like that's so excessive.
That is so excessive. So why is Target, number one, showcasing these products, and two, associating themselves with these people? Because it's just not right. Mm-hmm. So.
And like when it said Satan respects your pronouns, like believe it or not, like Jesus, you read through the Bible, like how he encountered people who were living in sin. And it was never disrespectful. It was never hateful. It was never making them feel shameful about what they did or how they were living. So Jesus, I believe while he disagrees, if it's from God, it's never going to make you feel shame. It's never going to make you feel less than. It might feel conviction because that's the Holy Spirit convicting you of how you're living and helping you turn away from how you're living. But it's never going to be hateful. It's never going to make you feel like there's a weight. So if you can say, Satan likes your pronouns, like Jesus equally will love you just as much and meet you right where you are. And so if they can bring Satan into it, I think they can bring Jesus into it too.
Right. And that's always like, no, you can't talk about Jesus.
You can't. Yeah, you can't. Anyway. He's the only one you can talk about.
Right.
He's disrespected and made fun of more than any other person in history. Mm-hmm. Crazy. There's something behind that.
Didn't mean to go all in on.
I hope that made sense.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a whirlwind, but all that to say, like free will, you can live how you want to live. I'm not going to stop you from, if you're gay, that's fine. No issue with it. And I think there's a big difference between respecting somebody and supporting somebody. You can respect somebody without supporting them. Like I will not support how you're living because I don't believe that's right, but I'll still love you. I'll still respect you. And I think you can definitely do that. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people just don't think you can.
Yeah. It's very black and white for people.
It is. Because Jesus would love you if he met you.
Yeah.
He would. He would walk along that journey with you. And yeah. Okay, what's the next topic? All right, that might have been a bit heavy, so don't cancel us, please.
Yeah, please don't cancel us. Okay. Speaking of cancel culture, I should say, I want to speak on it because I think it's very problematic.
Super problematic.
What are your thoughts on it as a non-influencer social media person?
Cancel culture is rooted in zero grace.
Yeah, that's
zero
what I was
grace.
Say.
Like as soon as somebody messes up or as soon as somebody does something you don't agree with or a lot of people don't agree with, like it's done.
Literally done. And you're canceled off the face of the earth. And I think that is so, like I said, problematic. And no one really talks about it. No one talks about how damaging it is to the person dealing with whatever it is that they got canceled for. And then like people, if we keep canceling people and these things, like it's going to get to a point where it's like, can we not communicate anymore?
Yeah. Can we not have a conversation about like, oh, what happened there? And if like that opportunity does arise and they don't want to have the conversation or they don't see what may have potentially went wrong, then maybe.
Yeah.
But it's so aggressive.
Yeah. Very aggressive, especially let's talk about like social media influencers. Actually, no, let's talk about Target back. Let's talk about canceling Target, because essentially that's what we're doing right now. We're canceling Target by not shopping there, all that stuff. And I am not saying I'm never going to shop at Target again. I'm just waiting for Target to maybe come out with a statement or something, because I think they can come back from this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not me saying, oh, screw Target. It's me like putting my foot down for me and my family.
Yeah.
And
what
saying,
you believe in, your beliefs.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean you're canceling them forever.
Right. And so with that, same thing for influencers. Like, I mean, I probably said some things, ignorant things or things I'm not aware of or like whatever. And thank God that my community is so great. And I've never been like canceled or tried to get canceled. Actually, that's not true. I did try to get canceled once.
Really? When?
Before it was even canceled, and it really hurt me. Like it really, and I think it altered how I'm going to cry. Wow. How I show up online. Wow.
You're afraid that.
I didn't think that was going to happen. So it was when I was doing challenges. Remember New Hampshire? And it was when hashtags were a thing. And I think I put like ED something.
Like awareness or like,
ED something. And ED stands for eating disorder. And all these girls went on Twitter and talked so badly about me, saying that I'm using the hashtag to like gain customers or gain clients to like, and that was never the case. I used that hashtag because I dealt with an eating disorder. And maybe since I didn't publicize it so much, these girls didn't know that, or maybe they did. I don't know. Wow. I did not think this was going to happen. And,
yeah, I remember that.
And it sounds so silly now thinking back about it, but like it was so hurtful because they were talking so much crap about me, so nasty, like such nasty words.
Not knowing you. But some
of them did know me. Oh. That was even like the worst part. Some of them didn't, and then some of them did. And sorry, I did not think this was going to be like this. And I truly believe that, like I said, altered how I show up online. And I try really hard to like speak my mind and say what I want to say. And
you're super transparent and open.
Yeah, but I also like, I know that there's definitely a wall that I always think about. And I'm like, why can't I just like, just show up the way I want to show up? And it's because I think I'm so deathly scared of saying the wrong thing and hurting someone when that's never the intention. And so I didn't even get canceled. I'm so emotional. That's why I think cancel culture is so problematic. And it's like, imagine if someone that's dealing with mental health issues gets canceled. Mm-hmm. Like that could drive them to harming themselves, like making really bad decisions. And how would you feel if you knew you were a part of canceling this person?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I can talk about this topic for hours because this is so, and people do it so freely.
Oh yeah. I think, again, this is coming from my point of view and like the filter that I see things through. Would Jesus cancel somebody?
Yeah.
Would he?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
And if we are truly, as Christians, called to follow his example, there's so many mean Christians. I think Christians are the meanest people on this earth. It's funny, but it's true, and it's sad.
Yeah.
But so judgmental and so hypocritical.
Like
and
they're
so quick to pass judgment on somebody when it's like they're no better in whatever sin they're living in, because they're not perfect.
Yeah. And I think that's also like, you put Christians on a higher standard because you think that they should know better.
Yeah, but we're human.
Right. No, of course. But that's when like church hurt comes in and like all of that, because like I said, you put them in a higher standard and you're like, they should know better. They should know better than treating people like this.
Yeah. 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 It's hard because we do live in a fallen world. We do live in a place where humans are involved, and we're never going to get it right 100% of the time. And when people think, even in church, like you think church is supposed to handle everything perfectly, and that's far from the truth. They don't. The church world is just as susceptible to making questionable decisions and treating people badly. Yeah. Unfortunately, and I hate that it's like that, but it's just the way it is because humans are involved.
Right.
And so, but cancel culture is aggressive, and it's not fair because in this day and age, like it's so easy to just be behind your phone and just talk about somebody when one, you don't know them, and two, you're not face to face with them. Because I guarantee 95% of these things that are said online wouldn't be said if you're face to face with somebody.
Oh my God, I know.
And we talked about that too in the other podcast. The internet's great for a lot of things, but on the other hand, it can be super toxic. Yeah. So no, it's a good conversation to have. And I hope more people talk about it because it needs to be talked about. Yeah. It's just, there's not enough grace being thrown around, and there's too much truth with not enough grace.
That's good.
So. Okay.
Now that I'm done crying.
Did you want to talk about anything else?
I thought I was going to get through this episode without crying.
No.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah. It was like, oh, there goes her eyes. What do we do? Do we cut? Do we show this?
Yeah, no. We show it.
Yeah, of course we show it.
No, I think that's it. I think this was a good conversation. It was a lot heavier than we thought it was going to be. Not heavy in the sense of like, I don't know. It was just like more.
It was a little deep.
Serious conversations. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think a lot of these conversations, they're being had in the quote unquote secular world, but I don't think enough of the Christian community is speaking out about it. Like I actually see a lot of Christian influencers, if you want to say that, but talking about it, and it's good, but it needs to be talked about more. Yeah. Because it's a scary world that we're living in, and we just need more of Jesus.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Yep. Not to be a Bible thumper or anything, but
people are gonna be like, "That's Taz." Yeah, that's Taylor. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this baby up and wake up our baby?
Yeah, we do have to wake her up now. No, I mean, I'll probably think of something later on.
Probably, and we'll add it to the next podcast. Yeah. Taz will be here regularly once a month or so.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. But yeah, leave any comments or questions below of like anything you want us to elaborate on from, as you guys know, we are Christians. And so like from our point of view, or questions you have, like how we deal with certain situations with our beliefs, and I think holding strong to those beliefs, because there's not a lot of gray areas when it comes to the Bible. It's black and white. And I think tiptoeing around certain situations isn't good just because you don't want to upset somebody. Because the Bible is super offensive. It is. It shines a light on the sin that you might be living in, and it might make you feel some type of way, and it might offend you because you're used to living in that lifestyle. But that's what the Holy Spirit's there for, is to convict you of that. And so holding tight to those values and not worrying about, is it going to upset somebody, or really, is it going to offend somebody? Because I truly believe that God will fully honor staying true to his word and holding true to your beliefs and your values, despite what's happening in the world. Yeah. Because the world is fighting for your attention. The world is fighting for your values. Yeah. And the world is trying to tell you how to live and what to believe in and how to treat people. But if you look to the Bible and truly look to the Bible, and a lot of people might not agree with this, but the Bible is a love story. The Bible is all about, from the beginning to end, love. And everything is rooted in love. So all that to say, if you approach your situations through the filter of love, it's a little bit more black and white than you'd think. So I think that's it.
He thinks that's
I think that's it.
That was our ending. That was our him wrapping it up.
Yeah.
No, but this was good. And I think, like he said, there's not many people talking about it, and especially through the lens of, I guess, being Christians. So, yeah.
And Christians get a bad rap too because they're hypocritical.
Yeah. But not all of them are hypocritical.
Not all of them, but it's the verse about, you know, taking the plank out of your own eye. You know, instead of calling somebody out for their sin, look at yourself and looking at how you're living. We're so easy to like pick other people apart instead of analyzing ourselves.
No, it's true.
So.
Because you pick at me all the time.
All the time.
Pick at yourself, okay?
Okay. All right, I think
we're
that's
actually going to be done now.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of Better Than Before, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Later.